Hey, everybody. Happy Friday evening. I hope you are having a great Friday and you are about to be doing something fun for the weekend. I'm actually just hanging out at home, waiting for some friends to come over for dinner. And I was sitting here reflecting on just the theme of my work with people this week, whether in the individual work I do or the groups that I run with my business partner, Emily. And the basic theme of the week, I would say, is relationships. And hi, Em. Thanks for watching. So the theme of the week is relationships and all relationships, parent-child relationships, relationships with significant others, relationship with coworkers, relationship with superiors, relationship with in-laws, right? That just seems to be the common theme of the week. So here's the deal with human beings and relationships, okay? This is one thing that all of us have in common as human beings. Hi, Jen. Thanks for watching. So here's what we all have in common, okay? Every single human being on this planet has a core issue. I don't care where you come from or what kind of family you have, every single one of us has a core issue. So let me just first explain what a core issue is, okay? When we are very young, we are trying to make sense of the world. We're trying to make sense of how we belong and how we fit in and how we're valued and how we're loved. And this starts by the time we're about 3 or 4 years old, okay? And inevitably, in life, we run into some kind of pain, okay? It doesn't have to be anything significant, although for some people it can be, but it's some pain where you feel ashamed or you feel embarrassed or you feel rejected or you feel in some way not okay. Like in some way, there's something wrong, okay? Now, as children, we don't understand that, let's say, our parents or other people might be reacting, right, in life from an automatic place, right? If we get yelled at, it might be that our parents had a bad day, right? Or they've got something else going on. Hey, Jen, thanks for watching. We got a lot of people tonight. Okay, so what happens is, as children, we don't understand that, okay? So we're trying to make meaning out of everything around us that happens. And when something happens, what we automatically say is that pain is because there's something wrong with me. In some way, I must be not okay. I must have done something to cause somebody to yell at me or reject me or, or feel embarrassed, okay, or whatever that pain was. Okay, and in our work, Emily and I do a lot of investigating to have people investigate this core issue, okay? But so here's what happens. When you have that pain when you are a child, okay, what happens is this is the start of your inner critic voice. Your inner critic voice says, I don't ever want you to experience this pain again. So here's who you have to become in order to not feel the pain. So I'll just give you an example. Like somebody that might have felt stupid, okay, as a child, it's very possible that that person as an adult might go on to get 3 PhDs to ensure that no matter what, they're never going to feel stupid. But guess what? Whatever it is that our core issue is, okay, and whatever we do to try to run away from it, it's always right there, waiting to bite us in the butt, okay? So here's how this applies to relationships, okay? I'm going to bring this back full circle. In relationships, we protect ourselves from experiencing that core hurt and that core pain, okay? And there's a sort of a common belief that, or really it's really more like a fact, that the more intimate your relationship is with that other human being, the younger you become. And what I mean by that is our most significant relationships in our lives, our children, our spouses, our mothers, our siblings, our sisters, right? They can really trigger us into these fundamental core feelings that we have. And when we are triggered, hey Al, thanks for tuning in. When we are triggered into our fundamental core issue, okay, what happens is we get to a point where we like automatically react, okay? It's because that, to a human being, that fundamental core issue is fearful, okay? It's like our worst fear that we could experience that pain again, okay? So what gets triggered in our minds is almost this fight or flight reaction, okay? So either in those relationships, we either withdraw or we come out guns blazing, okay? Both of which are relationship killers. They completely block the ability to stay connected and to stay present. And look, we've all been there, right? I know I have certainly had some major automatic reactions with my children, with my husband, right? So, you know, sometimes with friends in the past. So this is where it's crucial to really start to understand where your mind goes when you are triggered. What is that automatic meaning that you are assigning to your trigger? And here's the kicker: when we are most triggered, it always goes to the same fundamental place, okay? So next time you are really triggered by somebody, I invite you to just sit with your feelings for a moment and just get quiet and still and go inward and take a moment to reflect what you're really feeling, okay? And chances are, when you really hone in on that feeling, that is a familiar feeling to you. That is something that goes back. And you can probably remember moments in your life as a young adult, as an adolescent, even as a child, where you were triggered into that, okay? And when the people in our lives are reacting to us, what is also really important is to recognize that they too are triggered into their core pain. Okay. And we've all been in those situations, right? Where we're going at it and right, it's getting uglier and uglier. Okay. So that's an opportunity for you to really interrupt your automatic reactions that are stemming from that core issue, and to remember what your higher commitment is to that particular relationship. I have to practice this with my children all the time. Okay, because I have 2 teenagers and then I have a little girl who's 10, and they can all trigger me into my core pain. My core pain is that, you know, in some way I'm not good enough. So I have to be really mindful in those relationships in particular of when I'm really triggered, and to step back from automatically reacting and remember what my higher commitment is in my relationship with my children. I still might need to set the boundaries. I still might need to say that something's unacceptable. But when I can step back and catch my own reactivity, I've got a lot more choices and availability in how I'm going to deal with my children. Okay? So it's Friday night. If you're hanging out with your family or with somebody that you love, or you're going to be interacting with some people this weekend, I just invite you to examine if something should arise and you get triggered. Just take a moment and look and see if you're triggered into a place that's familiar for you, and maybe to stop and take a breath and remember what your higher level commitment is in that relationship. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.